Hi everybody, Bentley Compost Guy, Christy here, and I'm just going to give you another Bag Vermicomposting update. Just going to check on my bin here. It is February 7th, 2018, and the last time I did a check and last time I did a feeding was sometime around January 10th, 2018, so almost a month ago. And you can see that I have a bag of tea bags ready to go along with the little packets. And that's getting sort of up towards the top. So I figured it was about time to kind of check in on things. I thought originally I was going to do this more often. But you know what? With something like tea bags, the worms are still working on them in there, I'm sure. There's no real need to do it more often. The worms do well when they're not disturbed. So I figured I'd kind of leave it a bit longer. So maybe closer to a month between my feedings. All right, just going to open the bin and check on it. I literally have not even looked at it since I did that follow-up the day after I fed last time. Remember, I wanted to check to see how the worms were doing. So they've been kind of left to their own devices. And we're going to see what is up. Let's get this out of the way to let a bit more light in here. Okay, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but what I can see are lots of worm castings. You see the little sort of granular pellet-like deposits in there. There's a cocoon, maybe right in the center you might be able to see. Clearly the worms have been working, no doubt about it. I'm seeing springtails running around, and even some jumping ones, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. No, they're just falling off. The common springtails in worm bins tend to be the non-jumping type, the white ones. And yeah, I thought they were jumping, but they're just falling off the plastic there. All right, so you can see that has that sort of almost settled, worm-worked appearance about it. So I'm just going to start digging in. You can see lots of string. The bags themselves, you can see it's starting to break down there. I don't know if that's from direct worm activity on it or other critters or just fungus or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actual worms trying to go at it there. Let's see what's going on here. All right, some lively worms right off the bat. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of nice brown stuff underneath and lots of healthy, vibrant looking, energetic worms. You can see them wriggling, got good color, good size. Remember, these were these neglected worms that came from that ridiculously badly neglected bin last fall. So yeah, interesting. So they're absolutely going to town on the tea, and there's no signs of any kind of deficiency or anything. I mean, they seem to be loving it even as a sole food. The material, the vermicompost, looks great. Let's do a smell check. Oh wow, yeah. You know you're a wormhead when. It is very earthy and it smells beautiful. This is beautiful, beautiful stuff. And the airflow is a big part of that. You can see I have these gigantic things. I do have a lid on this one and a plastic bag, but I'm not really adding a lot. So it has a chance to stay pretty well aerated. And that is a huge role in producing really good vermicompost. Now, obviously, this isn't ready to, I'm not just gonna, I could just toss that in the garden and I'm sure it'd be good for the garden, but you can see there's lots of stuff. As we kind of suspected, the strings are hanging around. Yeah, I'm probably gonna find some staples in there. And, naturally, the paper from the packets is gonna take a bit longer to break down. So anyway, all in all, very positive. I'm happy about that. And this was sort of the neglected side of the bin. And usually what I've been doing is clearing out decide where I'm going to deposit. So one thing I should mention, if you happen, this is a general recommendation for vermicomposting anyway, but if you happen to have a mold allergy, keeping your tea bags the way I've been keeping them, just in an open plastic Ziploc bag like this, might not be in your best interest. I noticed that these ones have started to mold to the point of producing fruiting bodies, what we think of as mold. So spores will be getting released, and for me, I'm not worried about that, but some people, if you have any kind of respiratory situation, you may want to avoid that, okay? Just wanted to mention that. See, a bit gloopy down at the bottom, but this is probably, a lot of this is probably delightful, worm-ready stuff, okay? So I'm just going to dump it in there. Lots of bedding, lots of, it's good balance. There's going to be good airflow in there. I'm not really worried about that, so we're pretty much good to go. I don't need to add any, well, I'm not allowed to add any bedding really anyway, so, but yeah, it's a good mix. I'm not worried about this at all. So I've just kind of covered it up a bit. It's always good to cover whatever you're adding and just kind of even things out. And that's it. That's basically it. So probably another month or so. We'll keep checking on things and we'll see how things look. I bet by springtime, we're going to have a bin full of some really beautiful, rich vermicompost. Can't wait to test it because I'm interested to see how this vermicompost performs compared to other vermicompost. All right, so that's it for today. This is Bentley Compost Guy Christie. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll certainly be talking again soon.